What is going on, my Houston Texans family? Hope you all are having a blessed Tuesday. The Houston Texans have just released their unofficial depth chart for this Week 1 matchup against the Los Angeles Rams, and we get to see who the starting offensive line is, and we are going to break this down, ladies and gentlemen. We are 5 days away from the Houston Texans going to war with the Los Angeles Rams. You know where we're going to be, at the deck on Fountain View. I wanted to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you and powered by Sleeper. Think you know football? Then try to turn your football knowledge into real money with the Sleeper app. The ultimate fantasy sports app that can turn game day into payday. Just download the Sleeper app and pick more or less on your favorite players with more stats than any other daily fantasy app. Just choose 2 or more of your favorite players from pre-game or live. Pick more or less from the predicted stats, and you could win up to 100 times your money if your picks win. Use promo code 713HOU and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. I'm going to give you my plays for Thursday Night Football a little bit later, but without further ado, the 2025 Houston Texans offensive line, these starters. Let's go from right to left this time. At right tackle, Titus Howard. Hey, welcome back to the right side. Remember at one point on Titus Howard Twitter, it said right tackle only? Man, Titus Howard, I hope he is a captain, and the captains will be announced tomorrow, according to head coach D'Amico Ryans. But I absolutely love the way Titus Howard has kind of transformed his image, right? You heard me say many times, I don't think Titus Howard is a swarmer. I haven't said that at all this offseason. The way he's moved, the way he spoke, Titus Howard is 100% locked in. I not only think he is going to be a captain of this offensive line, I think he's going to have one of his best seasons in his career. Titus Howard, ladies and gentlemen, is your right tackle. Now, at right guard for the Houston Texans, starting for Week 1 against the Los Angeles Rams, Ed Ingram, who the Houston Texans got in a trade from the Minnesota Vikings. Now, the right guard spot was just one of those positions that, had to change with the injury to Cam Robinson, and I'll get to that later. But Ed Ingram was not someone that I was expecting to really compete for a starting job. Then training camp got going. Then we started to hear that, hey, when Ed Ingram was out there, the Texans were able to run the ball pretty good, and we saw that in the games and also at camp when me and Harley were there. Then the rumbling started coming out, hey, Ed Ingram was being thrown out there with the ones again and again. And now we are here with Ed Ingram starting Week 1 against the Los Angeles Rams. Now, if you ask a Minnesota Vikings fan, right, he's their Kenyon Green. They were so happy that we got Ed Ingram. Now, maybe a change of scenery is what he needed, alongside with a new offensive line coach in Cole Popovich and a new play caller in Nick Caley. But I am excited to see what Ed Ingram can bring to this offensive line. And we know he's a better run blocker than pass protector. So I'm excited to see if he could create some lanes for Nick Chubb, for Woody Marks, Damian Pierce. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, Ed Ingram is your starting right guard for the season. At center, a new starting center. It's been a rotating door at that position. Jake Andrews. Jake Andrews was my pick from the very beginning to be starting center for this Houston Texans team. And I said the connection between him and Cole Popovich is so strong. Jared Patterson, he made the fight interesting. But Jake Andrews is your starting center. Did the Houston Texans find something in Jake Andrews? I mentioned his time with Cole Popovich. Cole Popovich at Troy let Jake Andrews play center. That was one of the best seasons for Jake Andrews. Cole Popovich tells New England, I just came from the Patriots. If I was there, I would draft Jake Andrews. They did draft Jake Andrews. Didn't work out. Now he's here, Houston Texan. You're starting center. I have confidence in Jake Andrews. I can't wait to see how he does. Hopefully, the Houston Texans found themselves something consistent at center. At left guard, the Houston Texans will be starting someone new. So the Texans have an entirely new interior offensive line. But at left guard for this season will be Laken Tomlinson, who the Houston Texans signed in for agency. Now, one thing that Laken Tomlinson was advertising about himself, I am there every single week. You can rely on me to suit up on game day. And when you go look at his stats, 17 games played, 17 games played, 17 games played. That sounds like music to my ears. I need a healthy offensive line. I need a healthy Houston Texans team. Now, Laken Tomlinson was a Pro Bowler, I believe in 2020 or 2019. It was when he was with the San Francisco 49ers. It actually could have been a couple of years ago. I'm just messing up my dates here. But knows what it's like to be, a top left guard in this league at one point. And why I also like Laken Tomlinson being here is just, the veteran presence. Someone who's been around the league. Someone, who's been with D'Amico Ryans before. So who knows what, the swarm mentality is. This new interior, right? Laken Tomlinson at left guard. Jake Andrews at center. And Ed Ingram at right guard. How much confidence do you have in these three? Let me know in the comments down below. I also told you guys that I was going to give you some picks for Thursday night football. We got the Philadelphia Eagles against the Dallas Cowboys, who, are coming off of that big Micah Parsons trade. So make sure you guys download the Sleeper app. Use my promo code 713HU to get a 100 deposit match. And my picks, right? Dak Prescott, I have him going under 244.5 yards. I think that Philadelphia Eagles defense is just ready to ball out on Thursday. And then I have Saquon Barkley over 96.5 yards. I think Saquon is just going to go silly all over the Dallas Cowboys. This is a game that's going to be over by the third quarter. So I got Dak Prescott under 244.5 yards. Saquon Barkley over 96.5 rushing yards. Shout out to Sleeper Guards. Let me know if you tell promo code 713HOU. And ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, the Houston Texans have a new starting left tackle protecting C.J. Stroud's blind side, and that is rookie out of Minnesota, Ariante Ursary. Now, this is absolutely crazy. We thought it was going to be Cam Robinson. He right now is, one of the highest paid backup left tackles. I know he has no issue with that happening. But Ariante Ursary has had a strong camp, not only on the left side, but on the right side. We heard Danielle Hunter call him. He's going to be one of the greats. We've heard great things from Will Anderson Jr. When I first heard Ariante Ursary say in front of the media, I want to be a vessel for this team, I said, wow, we might have something here. Speaking of that phrase, right, we might have something here. If Ariante Ursary hits and he is the franchise left tackle for the next 10 to 15 years for the Houston Texans, I will forgive Kenyon Green, Juice Scruggs, Jared Patterson, so on and so forth, Blake Fisher. I will excuse that all. Ariante Ursary is a future captain of this team, ladies and gentlemen. That should just go to show you how much the Houston Texans, believe in this young man. Starting week 1 and going up against a damn good Los Angeles Rams front four. Oh my God, what a huge test for the rookie. But I am excited for it. Now, with Cam Robinson, what do? Do you try to trade him to a team that needs a left tackle? I'm all for that. However, if it's me, I would wait until the trade deadline, right? Let that value of Cam Robinson just shoot up. But the Houston Texans have a new left tackle and it is Ariante Ursery, the rookie out of Minnesota. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys let me know your thoughts and comments down below on this new Houston Texan offensive line. So one more time, it goes Titus Howard at right tackle, Ed Ingram at right guard, Jake Andrews at center, Laken Tomlinson at left guard, and rookie Ariante Ursery at left tackle. For more Houston Texans content, you guys know what to do. Feel free and follow me for more. Don't forget to download the Sleeper app. Use promo code 713HOU and get you that deposit match. I love you guys. Have a very blessed day.